Then, okay, so, Xingjie, what about you? Because you have been shooting a lot of different kind of fashion, commercial kind of thing, like, how has it been like for you, like, in the industry so far? Or how many years have you been in the commercial industry?
I would say close to 3 years.
3 years.
Very young, still very new. But I'm of course learning every day. What I guess we value at, or I value at, is the creative thought process behind it as well. So it's conceptualizing not as well as shooting only. So probably that's what I bring to the table, and that's why clients are so trusting of what I do. So it's not just photography itself, but it's also like, how does the visual look like in the end? How do you craft it in a way that benefits the brand, for example?
Then, like, during this period of time, right, I mean, just now, Benny was sharing with us, like, during this period of time, COVID-19 happened and stuff, right? Then, how has it been for you, like, in the commercial industry?
Very honestly, I think it's been doing quite okay.
Okay.
Because, as you know, the key insight is that everyone's probably at home. And what do they do at home? They're probably surfing the net. So what does this mean? That means that exposure value for product or even a service, if you put online, most likely people will see it because but of course it's a double-edged sword because everyone is actually putting the stuff online as well. You're competing with a lot of people, so it's like a Super Bowl ad. Like whoever is able to target correctly and stuff are the winners, I would say.
So because I mean right now a lot of people, right, they are currently doing a lot of because everyone's staying at home, everyone's business have to shift online. So a lot of people are starting new into taking pictures of their own product, their own food, and uploading onto social media, right? So in your opinion, what do you think are the barriers? What differentiates between a good commercial photographer and someone who is just new?
I would say the basic necessity of a photo, or what's the purpose of a photo. So food, what is the purpose? You want to entice people to buy the food. So obviously your food must look good now. As in good meaning, you want to see the textures, you want to feel as if or you can evoke a mood. There's another strategy that you can try.
Okay, I'm someone who is very new. Maybe I try out first. Let's say we're going to sell this plant. Okay. We're going to sell this plant over here, okay? For me, if I'm going to take this photograph, what I will do, I will take picture. Okay, usually what I usually go for in my phone, I usually use portrait mode. And I try to angle the thing, right, so that I can see, I think at least half of it. That's what I usually do. And then I just upload onto social media and maybe add a bit of filter.
Okay, so from a commercial point of view, like Xingjie, how are you going to elevate that phone shot to a concept that you would sell to your client? Then I'll probably come in from a perspective and see how I can make this into something more sounds easier for somebody who wants to come into the industry to kind of like get into this genre of photography.
Okay, so basically we still have to think, why do we want to take a picture of this plant, for example? Okay. So I want to sell it. So as you have to think from a consumer's point of view, how would it look like in my home? So probably a tactic that I could sell as a concept, right, will out the top of my head will be, let's say I will take this plant as a product photo.
Okay.
And on a white background, which we can remove the background. So what does this allow? This allows us to use augmented reality. So basically you can create a Instagram filter or something that where you point it at the side of your house or a place in your house, and the filter will allow it to be part of your house through the camera.
Okay, I'm going to pause it for a while because that sounds like point number one to all out there who wants to do a product photography. Think beyond a picture. So conceptualize it, and so that you can actually think about what you want to do after the shoot. So don't just shoot the photo as it is, like what Xingjie has mentioned, is to take it beyond, like so that you can add you have another layer of thoughts, which is the post-production in mind. So that's probably tip number one. So go on.
So what I would do is probably you point it to a side of a house. This will allow consumers to feel like, oh, actually it looks quite nice in this corner. Or maybe they're thinking to put it in another corner of the house. Maybe not so nice.
Tip number two, try to think what your customers are thinking so that you offer them a solution. So that's beyond a handphone picture. Okay, go on.
So how we allow them to visualize is probably through this concept. Photography is not just about taking photos. It's also about how you use them and where you use them to elevate your status of your brand or your product. That's what I feel.
Okay, tip number 3. Sell yourself beyond the capabilities of your phone. Be greater than that.
What do you mean by selling yourself beyond the capabilities of your phone?
Oh, that's easy because when you just take a phone
Ah.
and it's just a layman shot. But when you say that you can do like augmented reality, wow, all the bells and whistles, and that cannot be. So what you're trying to say is that you want to be known as a photographer, the creative individual that can put a mark above the rest than what others can do with just a phone.
So let's say contextualize right now this plant, right? I want to sell this plant. I want to give this plant to my girlfriend. So how would you recommend me to do it for my girlfriend?
Sorry, I really don't understand what's the context that we want to. Maybe you can share a bit more. Like you want to give it to your girlfriend, but like, how does this relate to?
So let's say I'm a client, right? I'm telling you that okay, I'm going to today. This is my new product. I want to sell it into the market.
Okay.
For Valentine's Day.
Okay,
you get me right?
Okay.
For Valentine's Day, how am I going to do this?
Okay, cool. Yeah. At least there's some context there. So maybe, like what you very gladly shared, there is a certain target that we want to achieve. So we want to achieve sales during Valentine's Day, correct?
So technically, probably tip number 4 lah. You must know who's the targeted audience who are going to actually watch, who are going to look at this product.
Yeah.
So knowing the audience is the very important way of breaking, in a sense, delivering a good quality photo so that people can relate to it.
Okay, maybe I want to put it in a way like it's easy for people to understand. Shoot in mind with the end result as the main thing so that you don't lose focus along the way. So because sometimes we can just go off track, right? We end up creating something that your customer totally don't want, and it's really a complete waste of time and money for your client as well.
So I think
Time is money. So when we take photography into a commercial level, we don't want to waste anybody's time, and we just want to make full use of it. And proper use of time and delivering the results within that given time, I think is important.
So every time you shoot wedding for Benny, you're wasting about your wife lah.
Yeah.
You better say yes over here right now.
Okay. Yes.
So right now, continuing, as a client, I come to you, I want to, sell this product to my targeted audience who are, let's say, youngsters, before 30s. Okay. So what else should I, as a client, take note of if I come and find you as my photographer?
I'll also ask, why do you want to spell this particular product? What is the gap or the insight of why do you think this product will do well? You can't just come a product into market and expect it to do well with no background research, right? So, you also need to share with me your marketing goals, right? How much you wish to spend, how much you wish to earn from this project, and then we can cater something for you.